Coordinator, area coordinator. Yes. Hey, Greg, what's the area coordinator's name who?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the December 2025 board meeting for the library board. Can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Biederman,
Present.
Dr. Machado,
Present.
Dr. Palacio,
Present.
Dr. Payne,
Present.
Dr. Riolo,
Present.
Dr. White,
Present.
and Ms. Woodard.
Present.
We do have a quorum.
All right. Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Indianapolis Public Library's December 2025 Board of Trustees meeting hosted at our Hobbill branch. Thank you for joining us. My name is Ray Biederman. I'm president of the Board of Trustees. Thank you to the staff at the Hobbill branch for welcoming us. And we anticipate hearing more about this branch and its impact on the community. But I'm going to begin our meeting tonight by noting something special. So there's a person who's a fellow board member with me who I don't know if she knows this or not, but we met a long time ago. First time we met was 2007. I was a second year law student, and I conducted a youth orchestra called the Metropolitan Youth Orchestra. Yeah. And you spoke at an event for the Metropolitan Youth Orchestra. Okay. And I said to myself then, I said, this is a special person. And in all the years getting to serve with you on this board, it's been nothing short of that. You did not disappoint.
Thank you so much.
You've been amazing as a board member, and really appreciate you and everything that you've done for this community, for equity, and the impact that you have on our educational system is second to none.
Thank you so much.
So
I'm gonna miss it.
let's have a round of applause for Dr.
Oh, boy, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I will miss being here. It's been exciting.
Well, yeah, thank you. All of us thank you, and we'll have lots of different ways to thank you throughout the evening. Well, with that, I'd like to invite Ms. Atwood, the Hobbill branch manager, to the microphone to share a bit about the branch.
All right. I apologize if I mess up with using the clicker because I don't usually do this. But good evening, President Biederman, other members of the library board, especially you, Dr. Payne. We're really glad to be able to spend this last of your board meetings with you. So thank you all. And also to our guests, welcome to the Hallville Branch Library. My name is Annika Atwood. I have been the branch manager at this location for a little bit over a year. Many years ago, though, I was a first-time homeowner here in 46222, and this was my home library at that time. So for many reasons, I am excited to share information with you about our historic and diverse community, caring staff, and dedicated partners. Oh, I did it. Though the first Hallville Library opened in 1896, we became the third branch of the Indianapolis Public Library in 1897. Our current building opened in 2003, and our community was absolutely thrilled to see the investment that the library made in 2024 and 2025 by ordering new furniture for the branch. Next year will mark the Hallville Library's 130th anniversary.
It's gonna be exciting.
It is going to be exciting. And though we have resided in 3 different buildings over that time, we are proud to be leaders of, as well as led by, our community. In 2025, we have grown our number of library volunteers and interns. The library again invested in Hallville by adding a new staff member whom we share with the West Indianapolis branch, as well as other branches when needed. As one of the system's smallest neighborhood branches, having even one staff member unable to work can impact our ability to provide exemplary service, and we thank the board and library administration for continued support on behalf of our service area. So thank you. Hallville has always been a diverse community from its very founding. The near west side of Indianapolis is a vibrant neighborhood of working class residents, many of whom have been recent immigrants. Our library services the neighborhoods of Hallville, Hawthorne, Stringtown, and We Care, in addition to being on an Indigo line connecting the west and east sides of the city. And I'm so used to saying IUPUI, it's hard to say something different, with Indiana University, Indianapolis, as well as Purdue University, Indianapolis. We are statistically considered an inner city branch with residents in our service area who often need help connecting to community resources such as health and education as they navigate their busy lives. We are a safe place. We always strive to learn more and discover new ways to serve. In 2025, we became a licensed dementia-friendly location after staff training. And in 2026, we will become one of the newest branches who are also a certified autism center after similar staff training. As I've said, and as you can see, you can kind of stand in the middle, turn around and see the whole branch. We're not a large library by footprint, but we do not think that the difference that we can make in our library's community is limited by our building or staff size. Instead, we believe that we can lift up our community and enable our public to find dignity in the library by finding creative ways of serving that never assumes that's impossible. Hawville is a neighborhood in constant change. The overall population has fluctuated since 2010, and though the poverty rate has gone down, and though we are not a food desert, food insecurity is a persistent issue. The library partners with Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority to provide a small food bank in our library. Though some patrons bring food donations, the sorority sisters regularly come with large amounts of food for our public, and we are so thankful for their partnership. Over the last 15 years, the Hispanic and Spanish-speaking populations have grown in our service area. We are blessed to have 2 librarians and 1 page who are proficient Spanish speakers. A full 20% of households surrounding the library speak Spanish, which is much higher than the average for Marion County, which is 9%. We are always very careful to have translated signage and calendars because it's important for us that the Hawville Library represents and welcomes the community in which it resides. Though we are all experiencing challenges in our current time, we have not seen or heard any significant change in the diversity of languages spoken by and the people that we welcome into the library. We've moved our Spanish language materials to a new comfortable family-friendly seating area. They used to be kind of spread throughout the library. And obviously, if you speak a different language, it can be hard to ask where everything is. So we were really glad to put it all together. It's been a wonderful experience to see families use this new space for all levels of readers. A full 33% of items checked out at Hawville Library are DVDs and Blu-rays. You'll notice that we have more shelving dedicated to those items than we do, say, adult nonfiction. The reality of libraries is that we can't have every book and every program at every branch, no matter how much we may want to. But we can pay attention to who's coming in our doors and make sure that we are meeting their needs. It's also important to us to think of ways that we can meet needs without just focusing on books or DVDs. We actively seek to support our community's health in multiple ways. I've already mentioned the food bank, but we also distribute emergency diaper packs, menstrual care packs, hygiene kits, COVID tests, and bus passes through a grant-funded program. In fact, of all the branches giving out bus passes in 2024 and 2025, we gave out the 4th highest number. And I don't think that's bad for a small library. The staff of Hawville Library are incredibly creative. We always like to give our patrons something new to look at or something new to engage with, such as scavenger hunts and take-home crafts. We have a monthly craft drop-in. The attendance has grown so much that we're going to begin offering it twice per month beginning this month. We offer job fairs 3 times a year, sometimes attended by over 100 patrons. One of my skilled Spanish-speaking librarians, Keith Denage, is the one who began this event, and I recently came across the service plan that he wrote for the very first one back in 2019. We do also offer weekly career center hours where patrons can come and get one-on-one help with resumes and job applications. Our branch is colorful. We love our beautiful murals and would like to think about having more installed in the future as another way to reach out to the community. The Ida York Museum of American Indians and Western Art partners with us, and their artists in residence began coming back to give presentations in 2025. We plan to continue to offer this as well as have museum passes available for checkout. Just for example, I got some in the mail, I think on Saturday. I did not count them, like 2 inches thick, and they are gone today. So it's a great partnership and we're really happy for it. Sometimes the fine arts aren't what you associate with an inner city library, and we are glad to help challenge that and offer enrichment for our community that you won't find in any other branch of the Indianapolis Public Library. We have a long list of community partners and could not do what we do if we were not open-minded and constantly seeking new ways to work with other organizations. In addition to some of those groups I've already mentioned, we have a long-standing partnership with the Marion County Health Department, Eskenazi Health, Indy Parks, and Step Up. Each month we do outreach, and our children's librarian, Alice Selm, does story time for children of the Christamore House and Hawthorne Center, in addition to tabling at multiple area schools events. As another of my Spanish speakers, having her able to represent the library helps to make us sure that we are reaching those who might not already be coming through our doors, because we want to invite everyone inside to see what the library has to offer. We look forward to continuing our service to the community and always enjoy learning more about our neighbors and learning new ways that we can partner with organizations. And that is it. So thank you very much for your time, and I can answer any questions that you might have.
All right, questions?
You mentioned the love of fine arts here. What kinds of arts projects would you like to see further developed here?
That's a very good question. And most of the time I look to some of my librarians to answer it because they put together those wonderful scavenger hunts, take-home stuff. The Ida York Artist in Residence program, I would like to see it develop a lot more. We had, I think, we had planned to have 3 of them this past year, but it ended up being only 2. And we're going to have that, and then also a program around the time that they have their big festival I think it's in June that they have that. So I would love, 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 love to get some more murals done. One of the artists who did the ones that are in the children's area actually stopped by a few weeks ago, so I was able to kind of touch base. So it is a wonderful mural. And we'll see, because I'd like to get public feedback and make sure that we're doing, what people want to, experience, because it is a space that you come into and experience. And some people are here for hours a day, which is great, and I want to know what they have to think. But yeah, I hope that answers that.
Oh, of course, of course. I'm going to make sure that we speak with the Dean of Heron School of Art and Design.
That would
because
be
we do
awesome.
a lot of community engaged projects, murals, but also outdoor art as well. See whether or not we could do something like that. As we can do some of that as well.
Yeah.
You mentioned also the licensed dementia location. What made you decide to move in that direction?
Well, we have a lot of veterans who come in. It's always hard at libraries because we have a door counter that tells us how many people come in, but it doesn't really tell us who they are. You have to use your eyes, your ears, pay attention. And we have, a lot of older people coming in, and especially being right on the bus line, you just want to be able to help everyone. So it was kind of important to me.
I thought it was connected to Christamore House's program and the apartments that are right there as well.
Oh, no, it's actually separate from that. So, but yeah, so we were really excited to do that. And we actually just finished enough of the autism training that we'll be able to go a little bit deeper in that and find out more. Being a small library, we don't have a lot of space to have like a quiet space, so that if someone is having a hard time, like if they're older, if they have dementia, or if they have autism. So I'm really looking forward to hearing their feedback Because a lot of the other libraries doing this are much bigger. I think we're the smallest one who's going for these certifications. And I think that all of us can do it if we're creative and collaborate with other organizations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You said this was an autism center?
It's going to be one of them. So currently, it's just Fort Bend, and I think we're adding 6 more this next year. But we are the smallest one. So yeah, we just finished the training, and then we're going to get visited for a site visit and hear what recommendations they may have.
I'm very happy and proud to hear about my SARS and the food bank. That sounds like something I might want to do.
Well, we would love to have you come back. So it always brightens our day when they come in. It's kind of like an event. So we love it. Thank you.
All right. Other questions? Question? Any more? Okay, great. Well, thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
much.
All right. Now we move to public comment. Do we have public comments for today? Okay. So before we get started on public comment, I'll read my public comment statement. We welcome feedback from the public about our Indianapolis libraries, and this is a time when the public may address the library board. If there are several individuals representing the same group, please select a spokesperson. Please do not repeat the same comments someone else has offered. Please note that public comment is not a time or the appropriate forum for commenting on matters related to employee charges, employee complaints, or alleged employee misconduct. Any such matters should be brought promptly to the attention of the CEO or the Human Resources Department, where matters can be properly addressed in compliance with established library policies and procedures. A 5-minute limit will be allowed for each speaker. Each speaker should give their name and let us know if they're speaking on behalf of the group. Who is our first speaker today?
We have Monica Carlisle. And we'll have Dr. Martin Brothers put up and sign
Actually, we do have a representative in the name of Dr. Nataki Pettigrew, so we can swap the names from Monday.
Great.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I love it.
So good evening. My name is
evening.
Nataki Pettigrew, and I am the Vice President and Program Chairman for Chi Chi Omega Chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And as your board rounds out another year here at this location, we could not miss the opportunity to provide a quick snapshot of what we do here with the Hallville Library. And so we have a meaningful partnership, as you heard earlier from the speaker previously, and we want to share a little bit about that partnership. So since 2019, we have stocked a beautiful pink and green box in the lobby with non-perishable food items. This box is a part of the Community Food Box Project, which was established in 2016 to provide 24-hour emergency food assistance. Initially, the boxes were on the outside of the building, and then after a few years, we brought the boxes in to ensure we did not have vandalism. While there are 83 boxes throughout our community as a result of this grassroots initiative, Chi Chi Omega is proud to sponsor 3 boxes, one of which is here at the Hallville Library. So a little bit about where we started. We started with our Pearls Club, which is our 6th through 8th grade mentoring program. And they were researching at a school here, food insecurity in Indianapolis. And as a result of that, they wanted to come up with an action plan to address food insecurity on the west side of Indianapolis. And so the food box was their idea. And so we sustained the food box, the members, and we have some members here today. We sustained the food box with about 20,000 food items a year. But it was the result of middle school girls who said, we care enough about our community that we want to help folks in our neighborhood. So we have done this since 2019. And this really reflects the mission of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, service to all mankind. And so we have done this for the last 6 or 7 years. This past November, I think we had about 10,000 food items in 1 month that we brought over to support families in this area. It's not uncommon for residents to approach us while we are filling the food box, as just today, one of our members filled the food box. It is now empty just from today. But she had members of the community approach her and express gratitude for providing food for their children and for their families. We will stock it again before we leave this tonight. But I'd also like to note that, again, in addition to this location, we have 2 other food boxes on the east side, one at Cafe and one at New Spiritual Life Church on the east side. Finally, I want to thank the Public Library Board for your support of the residents on the west side, and specifically thank the Hallville Library. They know us. They don't have to know us by name. They know us when we come in our pink and green, and they tell us, come on back behind the counter. If you've ever been back there, there are about 5 bins that we stock with overflow, so that when the food runs out in the lobby, they can stock it for us. So it is a true partnership. We don't do this by ourselves. We do this with the work of the library. And so again, I would like just very quickly to ask the members of Chi Chi Omega, so you know who's in the room, to just stand for a second so you can see these are people that come over. They stock the food box. Miss Sharita Turner is my contact, my point person. So the librarian will notice her mostly because she's here all the time. But these are the members that consistently come over and stock the food box and make sure that we are providing service to all mankind. So thank you for giving us this opportunity to just highlight our partnership, and thank you for your service to these residents.
Thank you very much for all that you do. We really, truly appreciate it. It means the world to us and our ability to serve the community, and your dedication to it is remarkable. Thank you. Please.
I just wanted to take a moment of personal privilege to thank every single member of my chapter, Chi Chi Omega chapter, for coming. When we talk about serving the community, this group, honestly, not just Alpha Kappa Alpha, individuals who belong to the Divine Nine, which is the council that the umbrellas of all of the Black Greek letter organizations. We understand what service means, but we most importantly understand what the need of the community and partnership looks like. So I want to thank you all for coming out. You may see them scatter really quickly, but I do want them to know how much I appreciate them not only coming to this board to support Hallville, but to share data, real facts about the impact that we make in the community. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I love all of you.
Do we have more public comment?
Yes, Mr. President, Michael Torres.
And I believe that's the last one, unless there's another lady on this list that wants to speak.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Michael Torres. I'm PSA at Central Library. I'm also president of our local union, ASME Local 3395. Normally, I'm here today to raise some issues or concerned about what's going on in the library, but today I am here to honor Dr. Pat Payne, who was at her last board meeting. And with me, I have a letter from our council that I'd like to present to you as well. I'd like to read this as Dr. Patricia Payne. ASME wishes you well on the completion of your time serving on the Marion County Public Library Board of Trustees. As director of ASME 962, I have had the pleasure of working with you and appreciate your heart for public service and the dedication you have shown to the library, the employees working there, and the communities that you serve. I have found you to be fair and honest in your interactions with the union. I also have found you to be a fierce advocate for doing the right thing, even when it may be complicated or unpopular. You will be missed, as it will be hard to fill your shoes with the same amount of integrity, humility, and grace. ASME wishes you the best in whatever lies ahead of you. respectively submitted by Ron Richmond, Executive Director, ASME 9, Council 962.
Michael is too. Michael's gonna mess up his. Thank you so much.
That is our last speaker.
All right, thank you very much. All right, we'll move on to approval of minutes. So we had a regular meeting on November 24th, 2025. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held November 24th, 2025?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll have a call of the roll.
Dr. Matata,
Approve.
Dr. Palacio,
Approve.
Dr. Payne,
Approve.
Dr. Riolo, Dr. White,
Approve.
Ms. Woodard,
Approve.
and Mr. Biederman.
Approved. That passes. We'll pass that down. Great. Moving on to the annual meeting held November 2020. Excuse me. November 24th, 2025. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the annual meeting held November 24th, 2025?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll have a call of the roll.
Dr. Matata,
Approve.
Dr. Palacio,
Approved.
Dr. Payne,
Approve.
Dr. Riolo,
Approved.
Dr. White,
Approve.
Ms. Woodard,
Approve.
and Mr. Biederman.
Approved. All right, the motion is carried. Now we're moving on to the Finance Committee. Dr. White, you are chair of the Finance Committee.
Thank you very much. I will call Alita and Mary forward. They've been working very hard on our financial matters, and we're very proud of them. Who is yours, Alita?
Thank you, Dr. White. Good evening, President Biederman and trustees. Mary and I are here to present the treasury report for the month ending November 2025. We're 11 months into the year, the end of the year. Mary will present the treasurer report, and I will present the resolutions tonight. Hello. On our revenue for the month of November, we began to receive some of the property taxes as an advance of their collections and at the county. So the month for property taxes was 2.4 million. Overall, it's 61% of the revenue property tax budget has been received. Intergovernmental was the usual amount of 377,151, which is 75% of the budget. The fines and fees are 94% of the budget, and charges for services are and miscellaneous are above budget on receipts. On the left, we show that the charges for services, the largest category was public printing at approximately $31,000. And miscellaneous, the largest category is interest revenue, which of that monthly amount of $126,000 is $114,829. And the largest contributors to that were the Hoosier Fund earning 4.8%. and Trust Indiana 3.92% interest. Trust Indiana is administered by the Treasurer of State, and Hoosier Fund is an intergovernmental cooperative established by statute. And then our graphical presentations on the left is revenue for the month, and on the right is year to date. And it breaks it down by category on each and compares to the monthly budget expectation on the left and what it was last year at this time. So on property taxes, it's above both our budget expectation for the month of November as well as last year's collection. Intergovernmental is less because we haven't received the state distributions yet. fines and fees are about level. And our charges for services are up slightly over budget and quite a bit over last year. And miscellaneous is under last year, but above the budget, or right at the budget. Our year-to-date on the right, overall, we've received 38,022,207, which is slightly higher than the November 2024 year-to-date revenue at this time of 37,134,508. And that's primarily due to interest that we've earned. So on expenditure side, the largest category is personal services and benefits. And we spent 2.7 million, and year to date 32.6 million, which is 81% of the budget for that category. And then supplies is at is 2% of total expenditures, and it's primarily cleaning and sanitation supplies. Other services and charges is the second largest category, and we spent 13 million of the 18.1 million budget, with the month being 983,000. Capital, and that includes legal, security, cleaning services for all the branches, various equipment, supplies, and technology. The capital outlay is 5% of total expenditures, and it's for the capital furniture and books and materials. And we've spent 75% of that category budget. And we have a graphic presentation of that as well, with the expenses for the month on the left in a bar graph, the budget being represented in a gray bar, and the month of November 2025 is the blue bar, and the orange bar is last year's monthly budget. So of our largest categories, you see that we're under budget, but slightly above last year's expense, which is expected. And then on the year-to-date line graph by type, it shows that the budget is in yellow, line 2025 is blue, and last year's is orange. So again, under budget by approximately $5 million on personal services and benefits, over the under the budget, and under the budget on the other categories as well. We also have next, just kind of shows that breakdown with little pictures of the revenues by type and the expenses by type on the right. And are there any questions?
Questions? Okay. All right, thank you. Let's see. So is there a motion to accept the report of the treasurer for November 2025 for filing for audit?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Just glad we're under budget.
We'll now have a call of the roll to accept the report of the treasurer.
Dr. Matata,
Approved.
Dr. Palacio,
Approved.
Dr. Payne,
Approved.
Dr. Riolo. Approved. Dr. White,
Approved.
Ms. Woodard,
Approved.
and Mr. Biederman.
Approved. The motion's carried. Moving on to resolution 58-2025.
Yes, resolution 58-2025 comes out of the IT department. Shanika Hayward typically will present this, but she's unable to attend this evening. So I'm gonna present her resolutions for her. This resolution is for to negotiate and sign a contract with Innovative Interface for addition for the Vega LX ecosystem enhancement for the library integrated library system. I should have worn my glasses. This application will connect and synchronize the library existing Polaris integrated library service system, and this platform with the acquisition and circulation and patron service and cataloging and serials and outreach and e-commerce and all the good stuff that the library does. It will be one ecosystem. So this presentation is, it will show how it connects as one ecosystem. It'll manage the people and manage the things all together. This is, again, a unified ecosystem designed specifically for the libraries. It streamlines essentials functions under one vendor, and it gives patron staff consistent experience. So you'll see at the top where it has the management of the people and then the staff and all the services. So it connects and it's just one ecosystem. Some of the things that the Vigo LX applications have, there's just 6 of them, which is the Vigo Discovery, which is the catalog, the mobile service, which allows the integrated patron apps for the hosts and events and the self-checkouts, and the programs, which are unified events and room management. And Viga Promote is also for the e-newsletter, if I can get that out, tool. And the web builder is accessible to integrate website platform. And then the Viga Starter is the notification access channel. This is where the emails go out. Shanika and her team, they did their due diligence with forming a team with the stakeholders and the staff back in November 2023. They evaluated the vendors, reviewed some demos from the Viga LX application, and formed some small groups. And so they did their true due diligence when picking this this platform. And why LX Suite is, again, because it's one vendor, one ecosystem to handle multiple application. It streamlines integration and also reduce vendor management. And it allows efficiency and eliminates redundant tasks, improve compliance, and increase staff time with staff, system management and training. And also its security and compliance with the patron data centralized in one system. It is a cost savings. It's 22% savings long-term. It reduced the licensing fees for multiple vendors. There's no upfront cost for application. Prorated billing begins once one application goes live. It's a 3-year term and phases implemented in high-level draft timeline. The 3-year license service is $356,748. One-time implementation fee of $50,880 for a total contract of $407,628, and this would be paid out of our 2025 bond. And this did pass through the committee.
Mr. President, I just a point of personal privilege on this. I haven't seen an initiative as efficient as this will be for the library system since I've been on the board. It eliminates a lot of variables and brings it all into one ecosystem. And the impressive thing was that the staff have all had a say-so in the approval of this particular system. And they knew it was going to be additional work to be orientated to all of these things, but the potential and what it will bring to us is just synergistic for, we don't know how valuable and how wide this will impact our operation. So it wasn't a task to be very excited about this particular proposal and of course this resolution. So with that, the Finance Committee recommended to the board full approval.
So, Resolution 58-2025 regarding authorization to negotiate and sign a contract with Innovative Interfaces, Inc. for the addition of Vega LX ecosystem enhancements to library integrated library systems. So it received a do pass, so the chair would request a second to such recommendation.
Second.
All right.
Second to the ecosystem.
Second and a third. We got it all. We got it all. It was in stereo.
Eco.
Eco. Any discussion?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So how is it decided which software or infrastructure goes under bonds or operations?
How is it decided?
Yeah.
Bonds is basically on a capital level, so we decided if we want to use operation, we move projects out of operation to free that up to cover other expenses into bonds when we're able to do that. And for this particular expense, we were able to do that.
So it qualifies for bonds.
The bond, yes, it does.
Then I'm also looking at 59, and that looks like it's coming out of, I know it's the next resolution, but it's coming out of operations. So I was just wondering
On the
how
next-
that's decided. So
yeah.
thanks.
Going out of order.
No, just contrasting.
All right. Any other discussion?
We had a lively discussion at the committee meeting, and it was very thorough. It was very well thought out, and I think I found confidence in many of the staff just understanding what this was going to be, and in the end, we will get there and be efficient. So, thank you for really thinking this one out. It helped answer so many questions in advance of the questions.
Shanika and her team did very well with this.
Excellent. Any other discussion?
Just want to commend the team. I agree, very thorough, left little room for questions, made sense, but you also were prepared to answer any of those challenging questions that we presented to you during committee. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Let's have a call of the roll.
Dr. Matata,
Approved.
Dr. Palacio,
Approved.
Dr. Payne,
Approved.
Dr. Riolo,
Approved.
Dr. White,
Approved.
Ms. Footer,
Approved.
and Mr. Biederman.
Approved. The motion is carried. Moving on to 59-2025.
The next resolution is a basic maintenance of existing network infrastructure, and this is an annual approval for this. We come every year and bring this towards the board for their to review and approve. The total cost for this is $158,188. And this include maintenance services to existing Cisco and Palo Alto equipment. It's called SmartNet. And the E-rate and USAC will reimburse as long as we stay in compliance, a certain percentage of the eligible costs. And that's about it for this.
Dr. White?
The committee again recommending to the full board to do pass on this resolution.
Resolution 59-2025 regarding approval to award a contract for basic maintenance of existing network infrastructure to Logicalis Inc. received a positive recommendation from the Finance Committee, so the chair would request a second to such a recommendation.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll have a call of the roll.
Dr. Matata,
Approved.
Dr. Palacio,
Approved.
Dr. Payne,
Approved.
Dr. Riolo, approved, Dr. White,
Approved.
Ms. Footer,
Approved.
and Mr. Biederman.
Approved. The motion is carried. Thank you
Then
very much.
last on our list is just some updates. We only had one update, which soon in January we'll start our pre-audit. So again, it's just like a vicious circle, and so we're back into pre-audit, then audit, then budget. So that is our cycle. And then again, happy holidays, because we won't see y'all again to after the holidays. That's it.
Happy holidays. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Thank you.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Oh, any
Yep.
questions? Before I get up, any questions? No.
Just moving on down the road. Yeah, there we go. She's starting the holiday early. All right, so now we move on to the Diversity Policy and Human Resources Committee. Dr. Palacio, you are the chair of the committee.
So we have one resolution that will be presented by Ms. Tisha Glasser. Thank you.
Thank you. I have resolution 60-2, 2025. It is for the acceptable use policy. This is from the IT department. This is an annual resolution where we review the acceptable use policy for the internet and other network. It is mandatory by the public library that we review every year. The last time it was reviewed, it was December 2024. There is no any changes. We post this on the website so patrons can see what is acceptable to do in our internet and other networks. And it was, it had a due pass on the committee.
A due pass recommendation by the committee.
Did it have a due pass recommendation?
Yes.
From the committee? Okay. Resolution 60-2025 regarding approval of the IMCPL acceptable use policy received a positive recommendation from the Diversity Policy and Human Resources Committee, so the chair would request a second to such a recommendation.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll have a call of the roll.
Dr. Matata,
Approved.
Dr. Palacio,
Approve?
Dr. Payne,
Approved.
Dr. Riolo,
Approved.
Dr. White,
Approved.
Ms. Woodard,
Approved.
and Mr. Peterman.
Approved. The motion is carried.
That's all
All
I
right.
have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Does
That
that
concludes our presentation.
conclude? All right.
Yes,
The
thank you.
presentation is concluded. Thank you. All right. Moving on to the next committee, the Facilities Committee. Dr. Riolo, you're the chair of the Facilities Committee.
I am the chair of this committee, and I told you we were going to come in swinging today. So we've got 3 resolutions today, and Adam Parsons will present those for us.
Before I begin, I'd just like to say that all these resolutions have a due pass. All right. First of 3 resolutions, approval of second addendum, that should be a second amendment, to mechanical services contract with Ellis Mechanical. Ellis Mechanical was awarded the mechanical services contract back in 2021. And they had, for 3 years, they have extended 1 year, which ended, unfortunately, October of 25. So we were a little behind this. They've agreed to extend at current rates. Both Ellis Mechanical and NDPL are amenable to a 1-year extension. And this will take our second amendment through October 10th of 2026. There's no increase in price. And there are the standard rates and trip charge. Preventive maintenance is about $53,000. Reactive maintenance is several $100,000. And this is funded via the operating fund and is in our 2026 budget. Ellis Mechanical is local, based out of Indy. They are not a city certified XBE. However, they use a secondary supplier that provides ductwork and other various supplies for repairs, and they have committed to using them for the length of the contract. That's the last slide.
This was deemed favorable from the committee and was brought forward to the full board.
Excellent, excellent. So Resolution 61-2025 regarding approval of the second amendment to mechanical services contract with Ellis Mechanical received a positive recommendation from the Facilities Committee, so the chair would request a second to such a recommendation.
Second.
All right, any discussion? No, nobody? Nobody? All right, we'll have a call of the roll.
Dr. Matata,
Approved.
Dr. Palacio,
Approve?
Dr. Payne,
Approved.
Dr. Riolo,
Approved.
Dr. White,
Approved.
Ms. Woodard,
Approved.
and Mr. Peterman.
Approved. The motion's carried.
All right. Next resolution is Resolution 62-2025, approval to award a services contract for off-duty police officer services. Just as background, our current vendor who supplies off-duty police officer services is offdutycops.com. They were the subcontractor for our previous security services vendor. When that vendor was changed to Marshall Security Services or Marshall Security Inc., the off-duty police officer services was split off of that main contract, so it would be its own separate contract. So we have attempted and been unsuccessful to go through a standard procurement process. In 2024, we put out a request for proposal, and of those submitted, we rejected all proposals. In the second half of 2024, we submitted a second RFP, and of those submitted, we rejected all of those proposals as unacceptable. During 2025, we worked out a few ideas, such as directly hiring police officers to be NDPL employees, possibly hiring police officers via a 1099 contractor arrangement. None of these were deemed feasible after working with talent development, after working with legal, after working with a few other people. And so what we are requesting is to approve a standard 3111 contract with offdutycops.com, which is our current vendor, to continue off-duty police officer services seamlessly. The estimated 12-month cost is about $340,000. That includes 55 hours at Central Library, which is 100% of the open hours, ad hoc services at various branches, and also ad hoc services at certain events. And this is also funded via the operating fund, and it is in our 2026 budget. Offdutycops.com is a local business based in Indianapolis, and they do hire IMPD officers. They are not a city. I'm sorry, I copied that purchase supplies from my previous resolution. That does not apply. Offdutycops.com will not work with a vendor to purchase supplies. They are not a city certified XBE, and that is
Rusty.
that's the last slide.
As was foreshadowed, this too received a due pass from committee and recommended to full board.
Great. Resolution 63-2025 regarding approval to award planning, programming, and no, sorry, oops. I'm a little rusty now too. All right, resolution 62-2025 regarding approval of a services contract to provide off-duty officer services with offdutycops.com received a positive recommendation from the facilities committee, so the chair would request a second to such recommendation.
Second.
All right, any discussion?
I had a couple of questions. 2024 plans were rejected, and then it was rejected. What were the reasons why these were unacceptable?
Sure. For example, we had 2 or 3 vendors across both RFP or submit proposals that were out of state, significantly out of state. I believe one was from Minnesota. We also had an Illinois and Ohio. After reviewing their proposal and reviewing the industry, it was apparent that they would just merely subcontract with a local company, which offdutycops.com is basically the largest and almost the only supplier of these services within Marion County. So it's very obvious that they would just subcontract with offdutycops.com and would also upcharge for that.
And would you say some more about the notion of ad hocracy? What's having to be ad hoc?
So, for example, the ones that we most notably have off-duty police officer services at various times are Warren and Lawrence and Pike, as there are ebbs and flows to the amount of people that are there. And also for ad hoc events, for example, Drag Story Hour, we had 1 or 2 police officers at most of those events this past year. There are larger events at Central Library, internal events and external events, meaning internal, meaning NDPL sponsored, and then external meaning non-NDPL related but hosted at Central Library.
And some things that are happening at Warren, Lawrence, and Pike that call for ad hoc?
Well, for example, Pike this year has been extremely popular, and the off-duty police officer presence has not been inside the branch, but actually outside the branch with the increase of vehicular traffic. There have been a few incidents at Warren that warranted an off-duty presence for a limited time, 1 week or 2 weeks. And those three are just the most frequent. We've seen this, across the system where we've had requests for off-duty officers. For example, at Irvington, I believe in 2024, there was a threat of firearm violence, and we had an off-duty police officer there for 3 weeks. And when that threat was determined to be no longer an immediate threat, then, we terminated that presence.
If I could jump in with a question myself. During the committee meeting, you had mentioned that there's a rapport that is built between some of the services we've gotten from off-duty cops. In particular, there are certain officers that have gotten to know some of the branches really well.
Yes.
Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, particularly at Central Library. Officer Fitz has been a steady presence. I first met him during the Kirk Cameron event a few years ago when the fifth floor was overwhelmed by hundreds of people. He was a very calm, collected presence. During his years being assigned to Central Library, he has developed a relationship with staff. He understands NDPL's processes. He is familiar with regulars at Central Library and knows them by name. And so he is well liked, well known, and very efficient and effective at his job at the same time.
I've met him before.
Yeah.
Yes, he's developed good relationships.
That's great. One of the other things that you had discussed was potentially exploring a relationship with the police department again.
Yes, yeah, and we need to set up that meeting, but we're looking to explore a potential direct placement from IMPD rather than pursuing a third-party vendor providing off-duty police officers. If IMPD could produce, as part of their on-duty rotation, 55 hours worth of an on-duty police officer, that's a relationship or a situation that we're exploring while this contract takes place.
And would that run a lot more money, or what would that comparatively cost?
I'm not sure. I wish I could tell you an answer. I would like to say that if it were an on-duty officer location, it would move away from our funds, or at least through a vendor, but I don't know what any cost-sharing arrangement that may look like with IMPD.
Excellent. All right. Any other questions? Oh, please.
I have a question just because I don't know. If we had an external group come in for an event and decided that we might want extra police presence, is there a surcharge to the group that's renting space?
Yes, yeah. So similar to security services through Marshall Security, outside groups that are using our facilities are charged for both standard security through MSI and off-duty police through off-duty cops.
Great. Any other questions? All right. Hearing none, we'll have a call of the roll.
Dr. Martada.
Approved.
Dr. Palacio.
Approved.
Dr. Payne.
Approved.
Dr. Riolo.
Approved.
Dr. White.
Approved.
Ms. Woodard.
Approved.
And Mr. Biederman.
Approved. The motion's carried. Let's move on to Resolution 63-2025.
All right, this is approval to award a planning, programming, and design services contract for the Irvington Branch renovation project. So this is very similar to the West Indianapolis solicitation that we put out, so it should look familiar. Irvington branch is next on the long-term assessment suggested plan for renovation. Is West Indy, and then Irvington is next. For purchasing, we followed the RFQ, request for qualification process. Public notice was sent out, advertised on our website. We directly contacted 75 vendors and 11 business development organizations, such as the Chamber of Commerce and so forth. And we had a pre-SOQ conference on October 21st. Of those, we received 9 statements of qualification. Through a couple of rounds of evaluation, there were 4 finalists. All of those were brought in for a firm 60-minute interview session with a 5-person evaluation team. And of those 4 finalists, we recommend award to Schmidt Associates. The contract is not expected to exceed $500,000. This is similar to the exact same amount that we expect for KRM while working on West Indianapolis. And this will be funded via Bond Fund 492. Now, that is the 2026 bond fund. We are working to get an accurate cost estimate before we go out for the bond funds. Until then, we can temporarily use the rainy day fund to pay for architecture and engineering services prior to the bond funds received next year. Schmidt Associates is based in Indianapolis. In fact, they're right next to the Flying Cupcake on Mass Ave. Not that I haven't frequented. And they have proposed a 74% XBE utilization rate. If approved tonight, we expect contract negotiation in January, kickoff in February, design and bidding to finish Q3 of this year, and construction to go through Q4 of 2027. That's the last slide of that one.
This also received due pass from committee to recommend to the full board.
All right, resolution 63-2025 regarding approval to award a planning, programming, and design services contract for the Irvington renovation project received a positive recommendation from the Facilities Committee. So the chair would request a second to such recommendation.
Second.
All right, any discussion?
Mr. Chairman.
Question.
Please.
No, I was just gonna share with you that today is National Cupcake Day, so hopefully you patronize me.
I had a choice next to Flying Cupcake or across Silver in the City, and apparently I chose well.
Thank you for your word.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Just a question. We've used Schmidt and Associates several times in the past, and sometimes we get some bumps there. What kinds of assurances do we have that some of the issues that we've had in the past, and I'm trying to, I don't have my notes with me, but we had some issues in the past with Schmidt Associates, and I don't have that with me. So I can't raise the question adequately, I'm sure.
Facilities assessment, they came back and asked for a change.
Yeah, and that wasn't a bump with Schmidt Associates. That was a bump with Adam Parsons. I put the wrong number on my initial board action resolution, and then I came back and said my initial documentation was incorrect. They submitted. Their price never changed. I just typed in the wrong number with that.
Gotcha.
Thank you for I appreciate that.
Yeah. One question I had on it. Last month we were at the Irvington branch and we had some public comment, some great public comment from some of the neighbors with regard to just some of the things that they saw, some of the maintenance. We had talked about it in committee, but I wanted you to update the full board on some of the steps that have been taken or what's going on with those couple maintenance items.
Yeah, so the first one was that smaller fence that was in between both the condos and the, I would categorize them as condos, and the branch. I believe that was the one where that was described as being pulled apart. We've contacted K&K Fence twice now. We have not received a quote from them that I am aware of, but we are pursuing it. If we don't get a quote back in a timely manner, then we can pursue another vendor. As far as the other one, which was the fence railing that was in between that was kind of at the northern end of the parking lot. That needs to be replaced. I've contacted Irvington Presbyterian Church. They own the parking lot and we lease it from them. NDPL is responsible for standard maintenance. Replacing this fence or replacing even a deeper structural issue is more of a capital project. So I've contacted them to talk about next steps in rectifying that. In the meantime, I've put in a work order, and I don't know if it's been fulfilled yet, to put caution tape on the fence, just to let people know that there is an issue with it. It isn't fully up to speed. And then if we need to take any other precautionary measures, we will.
Great, great. All right, any other questions? Okay, hearing none, we'll have a call of the roll.
Dr. Matata.
Approved.
Dr. Palacio.
Approved.
Dr. Payne.
Approved.
Dr. Riolo.
Approved.
Dr. White.
Approved.
Ms. Woodard.
Approved.
Mr. Biederman.
Approved. The motion is carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else from the Facilities Committee?
Well, so I think that's enough for you today.
Okay, that was great. You did not disappoint. Okay, Library Foundation update.
Yes, our president, Roberta Jaggers, is not here this time, but she will be here in January. She's waiting to present a policy, and that has not been finalized just yet. So we do have news. On December 2nd, the foundation launched a Giving Tuesday campaign, and they offered the ceramic book tiles that are examples right across the hall here. And they were offered at half price for the Giving Tuesday date. And it can be inscribed by with someone's name or a recipient that somebody wanted to recognize. And for that day, the campaign raised $5,580 from 26 donors, and that is up from just 16 donors a year ago. And those tiles that were purchased on Giving Tuesday will be installed once the new year rolls around. The foundation also sends a thank you to Marketing and Communications and IT for working with the foundation to place a button to donate directly on our ndpl.org homepage. So it is even easier and gives you less resistance. So click that button and please donate to the foundation. We had 273 donors this past month who made gifts, including the top institutional donors, Rich Charles Inc., Stens Corporation, and Cummins Foundation. And for program support in this past month, the foundation provided $56,785 to the library for major initiatives, including Teen Community Book Club, Seed Library, and Bilingual Storyline.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we are going to move on to the report of the CEO.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Biederman, members of the board. Before you is the monthly confirmatory resolution 64-2025 that involves personnel and travel and pay that occurs between each board meeting, and I would ask for your approval of resolution 64-2025.
Is there a motion to approve resolution 64-2025 regarding finances, personnel, and travel?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Resolution 64-2025 has been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll have a call of the roll.
Dr. Matata.
Approved.
Dr. Palacio.
Approved.
Dr. Payne.
Approved.
Dr. Riolo.
Approved.
Dr. White.
Approved.
Ms. Woodard.
Approved.
And Mr. Biederman.
Approved. Motion's carried. Mr. Hill.
Okay, moving on. So my report for December 15, 2025 will highlight activities for the month of November. The report includes selected branch programs and programs throughout the system. Your full report, if you haven't had a chance to read it, includes adult and youth programs, the citations for the Star Award winners, digital inclusion, active card holders, We Love Our Library, intellectual freedom updates, and also communications and marketing. There's a full update from January through November included as well. Again, overview, this report will cover the daily impact, program review, staff recognition, active card holders, We Love Our Library, staff opportunities, and upcoming events throughout NDPL. Daily impact for November. we had 5,871 visitors, and these numbers are any typical day in the month of November. So we had 5,871 visitors. Top locations visited by branch were Glendale, Fort Bend, and Southport. Circulation, we circulated 12,265 items on any given day in November. The top circulating branches were Glendale, Franklin, and the Nora branch, who are steady climbing up the circulation ladder. We had 24 programs on any given day in the month of November. That was roughly 7% of visitors attended a program, or roughly 1 in 15 visitors attended a program. The attendance was 398, and our PC usage was 969. 17% of our visitors used a computer, or 1 in every 6 visitors used a PC. New card holders was about 3% of our visitors. New card holders was roughly 1 in every 32 visitors received a new card. Programs across the library system. On the youth side, starting on the left, working from top to bottom, we had 450 youth programs, which includes infants, toddlers, preschool, and school age. We had 8,762 participants. One of the programs to highlight for the youth were the Caregiver and Child Yoga program, which was a program geared for ages 2 to 5. It was facilitated by Silly Hearts Yoga. We had 4 different locations that held sessions, and we had 78 patrons who engaged in Silly Hearts Yoga, and including one session that was had ASL interpretation. On the adult side, there was caregiver support. Caregiver support created a gathering place for caregivers and the people they care for to connect. They were able to share and relax in a safe place. It included light exercise, self-care, and a networking hour. The event hosted 45 guests through the month of November, and we had 235 programs, which is for adults and seniors, and we had 1,953 participants. Digital inclusion program. College Avenue had the highest number of unique users, as you see working from the left to the right going across. North Star Digital had 55 unique users, 32 hours of independent learning, and 56 assessments. Phone keyboarding basics and logging in was the most popular North Star topic, which was closely followed by basic computer skills. The Tech Learning Team offered 9 sessions across NDPL, and they had 41 people who attended those sessions. Real quickly, a survey result stated that it was easy to understand. The handouts were great, lots of info, good mix of simple instruction and tips for the people who attended. Our November star, I'm sorry.
Can you go back a couple of
Yes.
slides? Even a little more. Can you go back 2 more slides?
Okay.
So, can you quickly go over? We look at this impact report a lot once a month. Can you go over how it's assembled a little bit for me?
So, Ms. Marianne McKenzie, our Strategic Planning and Assessment Officer, every month we highlight several different categories. She sends those to me, and then we decide that we'll do which ones we're going to do for the month, and then we put them together. And then I usually just go through and pull out the numbers, how many visitors, roughly what the percentage of visitors for that particular day. And I generally use the same one. Sometimes I'll change out the PC usage with Wi-Fi usage or some others, but we do have a good list of different metrics that we can pull from.
Okay, great.
I appreciate the surveys that McKinsey puts out there too, to get that kind of feedback, like you were doing with the digital. That type of feedback lets us know what we can build upon and what that might look like.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any other questions before I move on back to where we were? Any?
Anybody?
Okay.
No. Okay.
All right, for November, our Star Award winners, and just as a reminder, I'd like to invite our board members to our quarterly Star Awards reception. The next one is Monday, January the 12th, from 2 to 3 in the Indiana Special Collections Room. So we invite you to attend that. November Star Award winners, patron services was Taylor Van Tron from Fort Bend. Peer support is Milo Parker from Pike. And community involvement is Jason Davis from the Central Library. Page Excellence is Joanne McNeil from Spage Park. Other duties assigned is Irene Rozier from Collection Management Service Area. And the committee's choice was Susie Howman and Shantae Gaston from Southport. And Susie, they're both from Southport. So let's give them a big round of applause. And then we did have one retirement.
Will be closing in 15 minutes. Our computers will shut down automatically 5 minutes before closing. If you have any materials to be checked out, please take them to the circulation desk at this time. If you need assistance finding materials, please come to the information desk.
And real quickly, we did have one retirement, Amy Friedman. She spent 24 years with NDPL, and she was a public services librarian at the Learning Curve. All right. And then real quickly, what I would like to do is on behalf of the executive leadership team, we'd like to present roses to Dr. Payne. So congratulations, Dr. Payne. And again, Dr. Payne, the executive leadership team, we thank you for your leadership. We thank you for all that you've done for NDPL. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. You're welcome. You're welcome. Wow. All right, moving on, if that's okay. So the next thing was the November active card holders. Our strategic plan objective B1-1 aims to increase active library cards per capita in each service area by at least 2% annually through the branch-led cardholder access registration engagement, which is called CARE. So the CARE plans focus on areas with the highest number of inactive cardholders. In November, the total cardholders across all locations was 182,555, including 144,944 at NDPL branches. And then we had 37,561 active cardholders that were in the shared system. So that's just a breakdown of the active cardholders. And then next is the We Love Our Library campaign. We Love Our Library has become a popular campaign uniting staff, patrons, the foundation, and donors with the planks of connecting, engaging, supporting, and championing the Indianapolis Public Library. And if you had a chance, you see all the signs that we have out throughout the community. There's been 1,700 signs as of December the 2nd. Most branches, again, report a high demand for yard signs. And they say that we can't keep them in, so we order them and we just keep giving them out. And this is something that we will, it's not so much a campaign that we will do periodically. This is something that we will do continuously to make sure we get support for our library. I will, okay, so go ahead and jump down to the bottom. Impressions are the total number of times art content appeared on a screen, regardless of whether a user clicked on it, paused long enough to read it. So just any amount of times that it appeared on the screen, that is a lot. So 24,642 impressions. We had 87 positive stories that have been submitted, which will be featured in other marketing projects that we do. And then we had 1,974 views. And the views are a metric that counts the number of times a piece of content, typically a video, has been watched or opened. So that's what a view is.
And that's on our website.
Yes, that's from the website.
So do we have any statistic on like which video is most popular?
I think it may be in the actual full report. There may be the statistic, which one is the most watched video.
Yeah, that's good. All right, did you have another question on these?
No, just when we talk about the stories that are being collected, are there some particular themes that emerge from what they're saying?
Mostly, a lot of the stories have to deal with inclusion. A lot of them have to do with the staff, thanking the staff for the work that they do and just being able to come to the library. A lot of impactful stories that we collect on a regular basis. And starting in 2026, that will be a big focus on our board report will be stories of impact.
Tremendous.
And then lastly, these are some of the staff opportunities that we had for the month of November. LGBTQ plus, domestic violence, we had 18 staff who attended. At the adult services meeting, we had American Civic Reflections Training, 49 staff. And then lastly, we had the Neurodiversity and Disability Inclusion Training, where we had 41 staff who included that. Again, we had several training opportunities, but those are the three that I chose to highlight in this presentation. Yes, ma'am.
The neurodiversity and disability inclusion, we always ask about that. And when Ms. Atwood spoke about it today, is that across all of our branches that we're really attending to these issues?
Yes, ma'am. This is one of our mandatory trainings, is the Neurodiversity and Disability Inclusion Training. So we're trying to make sure that that's included at all locations, and not just our locations, but some of our support departments as well.
As well.
Yeah.
That's tremendous. And when we say it's 41 staff, that's out of all of our library staff?
But remember, this has been going on for the last 12 months.
So
This was toward the end of the process. So it should have been all close to 500 to 600 of our staff have completed the neurodiversity training.
Please express the appreciation for that. We know that it makes a big difference in our larger community, and the neuroscience really is showing that it's growing, the challenges are there. How are we responsive? And the library is stepping up as an educator, but also an educator and offering the kind of training that really does make a difference for equity.
Yes, ma'am. All right. It was really, really good, good training. And yeah, our staff was a mandatory training for everyone.
Dr. Riolo, I think
Go
you had a
ahead, I'm
question
sorry.
as well.
Just wanted to add, I know that the CEO report and McKinsey's report always has all the quantitative data about programs and how many and who attends, but I will give a qualitative report. I go to a lot of these events, and you gotta go to more of them. I think a lot of people think that the library is a very individual, you get materials for yourself, you bring them home, and that's what the library is, a lending thing. But it actually builds a lot of community. So I've been to music and movies and really great educational lectures. Game night is such a joy to walk into Central on a Tuesday night and see all these families just screaming and yelling, and it's community. And these programs are more than just the numbers, they really are pretty special. So, yeah, just wanted to add that above the quantitative work.
Yeah, thank you for that. And as I stated earlier, that's in 2026 for our board reports. We'll try to do more stories of impact instead of just giving you numbers and stuff. So thank you for that.
Well, a lot of us are working full-time every day, and we don't get a chance to come over all the time, but truly hearing the stories, just as Dr. Riolo said, makes all the difference for that qualitative data.
Evenings are busy.
Exactly.
Data and brew, there's even beer on Thursday nights, once a quarter.
Did you say once a week?
Once a quarter.
Oh.
Ray.
Sorry. One other question. Can you go back a slide? So you had mentioned that you were highlighting these 3 opportunities. Can you describe some of the other staff opportunities that have occurred?
I would have to go back and look in the report. I don't have them memorized. I apologize.
Sorry.
But there are other, I think there was like 10 different training opportunities that we had, and those were the 3 that I chose to highlight.
Great, thank you.
I'll make sure next time I have some of those memorized.
It's all in the report, yeah.
Okay, upcoming events for December the 15th on Monday, there's a 3D printing at Central Library, Dream It, Design It, Print It. That's from 6 to 8 p.m. The host branch here, Hallville, is having a homeschool meetup on Monday, December the 15th. That was from 2 to 3. And then NDPL staff holiday party scheduled for Friday, December 19th at 6 o'clock. So the board members are invited to attend, and we hope to see you there.
Where will it be?
Central Library.
At the Grand Pass?
Just bring yourself.
You're the president.
You're the president.
You're the president.
All right. Any questions for me? before I have Miss Mary Ann McKenzie come up and discuss the community action plans, which was a future agenda item by Dr. Matata.
Yeah, thank you very much. Any questions? All right, thank you.
All right, Miss
Appreciate
Mary
it.
Ann McKenzie. Mhm.
We're gonna have a lot of questions for you.
Yeah.
Don't even worry.
We're ready for you.
We're ready.
Good evening, President of the Board, members of the board. I'm here to talk with you. I normally come and talk with you about data. I'm going to talk with you about one of the other things that my department helps oversee, which is the community action plan process. One thing that I want to emphasize to you is that the community action plans, we tend to refer them as if they're a single plan, but it is a process and it can get very operational. So I'm going to try and give you sort of the bird's eye view of how this fits into a variety of ways that we turn staff's wonderful ideas into actionable solutions that respond to community need.
Materials to be checked out must be taken to the circulation desk at this time.
I'll let you read a definition while this goes off.
Please come to the information desk.
All right. So the community action plan process, like any good process, starts with a wonderful long application. So essentially, the community action plan application is going to be a proposal that outlines a strategic action, which most commonly is a program. That's probably 75% of what comes through this process is people proposing public programs. But it could also be what we call a special project or a strategic initiative. Essentially, the state library has very strict requirements on what we can call a program for reporting purposes. So anything that's not a program is a strategic initiative. But occasionally, you'll have something that needs the support of this process, but doesn't need the full weight of the process. So they need sort of a little trapdoor to make it shorter and faster. And we call those things special projects. Now, the reason they sometimes don't need the full weight of the process is the process asks you to document who, what, when, where, and why of your idea. And your proposal is then asked to address your strategic alignment. What strategic goal do you support, and why is it timely that we address it in this way? Response to community need. We actually have you research, find some actual data, or if you can't find data, gather some qualitative input from your community partners to explain why what you're proposing is responding to a current community need. We also have you apply our diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility strategic filter from our strategic plan, as well as a few specific questions targeted towards developing equitable programs. We ask you to tell us any resources or funds that you might be requesting, and then also to outline any key cross-departmental support beyond your own department's resources. So as a result, this application is quite long, which is why we have the special projects, because occasionally you just need to document something and not to fill in the full form. Now, when you think about what goes through this, it's a little bit of everything, but it is not everything. Again, most of these are programs. So you'll see some examples here on the screen. Some really recognizable ones like summer reading program, a big, large-scale program that every branch is going to participate in. There's things called passive programs. So in the middle here, we see a child with a crown on. That's 1,000 books before kindergarten. Staff don't have to do a whole lot other than distribute prizes and be really excited that someone read 1,000 books before kindergarten. Programs like Reading Time, which is essentially a virtual program. It's a streaming video. We record videos for that. Large recognizable programs such as Fall Fest, McFadden Lecture, all those big, large-scale programs that are sort of the hallmarks of our program traditions, those are going to go through the community action plan process every year and ask to tailor their response to the current community need. But we also have some things that aren't programs, things like bunny book bags. So occasionally there's a special collection-based initiative that requires either some special documentation and thought or some additional fundraising in order to be able to implement. Digital Indie Encyclopedia of Indianapolis, because much of their work is funded by fantastic grants and donations through our Indianapolis Public Library Foundation, they often engage with this process as well. But again, not everything. So for example, you won't see something like Library of Things, a recent collection initiative up there, because that was something that was well covered by the current operational process of our CMSA department. Because there's a large variety of things, and because there are a variety of ways that you may find yourself having to write a community action plan, our stakeholders for this process is very vast. It's everything from the staff person who submitted the idea so they can track and monitor whether their idea was approved and begin to implement it, all the way up to the CEO so that he can report back to all of you the strategic impact of all of our ideas. But you'll also see some internal and external partners that might be surprising in there. So for example, community partners, we engage them in the CAP process. We encourage staff to engage them during the planning phase before they even submit their application. We also ask them to report at the end how community partners were involved and how they expanded the impact of our programs. So they become key stakeholders who need updates about approval of community action plans and implementation. We also have the foundation. Not every community action plan. Yeah.
Did you say that you wanted to suspend the agenda?
I wanted to
Yeah,
suspend the agenda for
I heard
this.
this
This
motion
is,
to suspend the
I-
agenda for a moment. Is there a second?
can I get a second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So the agenda is officially suspended. We'd like to welcome a special guest today, Council President Vop Osley. Please come up.
Good evening.
We did our best.
Bless your heart. George speak? Oh, sure.
Yes.
I'm here on behalf of the City County Council, and it is to thank you for your 16 years of service on this board. And we have a special proclamation for you, if it's okay if I read that?
Please.
All right. And thank you all for your indulgence this evening. May I? All right. It says, a proclamation honoring Dr. Patricia Payne for 16 years of distinguished service on the Indianapolis Public Library Board of Trustees. And whereas Dr. Patricia Payne has served with distinction on the Indianapolis Public Library Board of Trustees for 16 years, demonstrating unwavering dedication to the library's mission and the community it serves. And whereas, throughout her tenure, Dr. Payne has been a magnificent trustee, steadfastly advocating for the library's frontline and support staff, ensuring that those who serve the public are valued, heard, and supported. And whereas Dr. Payne's leadership has been instrumental in maintaining the library's financial stability, guiding it through challenging times with wisdom, integrity, and a deep commitment to public service. And whereas, beyond her service to the library, Dr. Payne has devoted her life to the pursuit of educational equity and social justice, serving as the director of the Office of Racial Equity and Inclusion for Indianapolis Public Schools, and earning national recognition as a tireless advocate for children, educators, and communities. There's a lot of whereases here, so I got 3 more. I know it does. You have done such an amazing job. We're just so grateful. And whereas Dr. Payne's transformative work has been honored by the Indiana University School of Education with the prestigious Transformational Alumni Award, celebrating her lifelong dedication to excellence, advocacy, and service in urban education. And whereas her legacy includes the Patricia Payne Scholarship at Indiana University, wow, supporting future teachers of color who will serve in traditional public schools, and her belief that teaching is a divine responsibility, one that shapes the minds, hearts, and souls of children. And whereas Dr. Payne's impact will continue to resonate through the lives she has touched, the institutions she has strengthened, and the community she has uplifted, now therefore be it proclaimed by the City County Council of the City of Indianapolis and of Marion County, that the Council, Section 1, the Council on behalf of its residents, and the Indianapolis Public Library, extends its deepest gratitude to Dr. Patricia Payne for her 16 years of exemplary service and wishes her continued success and fulfillment in all future endeavors. And then Section 2, the Council hereby extends its heartfelt appreciation for her unwavering, Patricia Payne, for her unwavering commitment to justice, education, and community empowerment, recognizing that her legacy will continue to inspire future generations of leaders, educators, and public servants throughout Indianapolis and beyond. And it's attested to by myself, Vop Osley, President of the Indianapolis City County Council. So we just want to say thank you.
That's why we kept asking all these questions. We were waiting for you, Mom. I have to apologize, Adam.
Thank
You
you
know
very
I
much.
asked questions, but we just kept asking any kind of question we could, ad hoc questions.
And then before we move on to, I just want to say, just like to present you with these are cards from the staff from around the library system as well.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna help.
Oh my gosh, so unexpected. Thank you, everybody.
You deserve every bit of it.
It's I'm gonna miss it. I'm really gonna miss it. So thank you, and thank you for all of your putting up with whatever. It has been not just a pleasure, but an honor to serve, work with this community. Thank you so much for your leadership.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for yours. Dr. White, did you say that you wanted to commence with the agenda, back to the agenda?
Before we commence back, you shouldn't have waited for me to say that.
You were going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Let me just say to my sister and my hero that I've known her since I was a young, cocky teacher, administrator in Fort Wayne Community Schools. And I'll never forget, about my second year or third year in that district, we had a speaker who was the president of the Indiana Teachers Association, and she showed up, looked like Angela Davis. And she was like the most powerful individual that we had the pleasure of listening to the open school. And with that fro, and she was always got a point across. All we could say at the end of her presentation, my friends and I, was, who was that math woman? Because she was like Superman and stuff. And from that time, we knew, I think it was Pat Brown then.
Yeah, it was.
And Pat Brown was a bad lady. And then coming down to teachers meeting in Arlington, we got to know her even more. And so over the years, she's been a legend, but it wasn't legendary from a standpoint of talking it. She walked it. And we wouldn't have had an Addicts Museum without Pat Payne. And there are so many other things that she has done behind the scenes. Not only her work with IPS, but Martin University, other ventures, and she never have requested any favor from anyone. She's always been the giver. I'm so happy that this evening you can be the receiver, because you need to receive a lot more. Thank you very much. And now I request that we get back to the agenda.
Right.
All right. All right.
So apologize, McKinney.
Oh,
Thank you.
no apology needed. I'm just going to talk about support, which is the great transition, all the support that you provided us. The foundation provides support to many of our community action plans. And so they're a key stakeholder in this process. One of the things that we try and do is encourage our staff to think about proposing a program or writing an idea with the idea that someday it may be pitched to a potential funder, because that allows us to offer more things to our community by expanding the support that is available for great ideas. If you think about how a CAP moves through the world and becomes something that is presented to you as an outcome, usually what happens is someone has an idea, they pitch it to their manager vets it, they work together to write the application, and the manager approves it. If it's a small scale idea, that's enough to have it turn into something that is offered to their community. If it's a larger idea, something that might involve multiple branches or additional resources, it has a little bit of a longer process, and we get into what we call a CAP review process. We might have a more senior programmer, someone more familiar with the way the library operates and funds things, take a look and make sure that we have the best possible idea and have matched that idea with all the appropriate resources for it to be successful. If the idea does require additional funding, we might pass it to the foundation. We get into this final blue bubble over on the left, where we're going to ask the foundation or a support department to look through the possible financial support or resources that they can provide and pair that idea up with all of those resources. So depending on how involved your idea is, you could have a very short turnaround time of about 30 days. Or a very long turnaround time of about 4 to 6 months. That's probably the most common way that someone navigates this process. But we also have big ideas, things like summer reading program, things that are going to require substantial fundraising. Those often take 8 to 18 months. If you think about that length of time and how many programs we offer, as you saw, we offer thousands of programs every year. We do find that occasionally that this process can be a little bit cumbersome, a little bit burdensome. So we do have some special caps to support programs that happen very frequently and at multiple branches. One that we've talked about recently with you is package programs. So package programs are designed by our programming department and are presented at multiple branches. Usually they give them a spring, a summer, and a fall menu, and they say, here are the possible programs that we'll arrange for you, which ones are going to meet the needs of your community. And the way the programming department engages with the CAP process is they do all the research to make sure that what they're bringing to those branches is responsive to community need and thoughtful about the unique ways that it may impact individual branches. So for example, there may be some programs that are more appropriate for one branch than another, and they might encourage them to offer them at that location. We also have something called a blanket cap. This is blanket permission to offer a program. We need to do story time. Early literacy rates always need to be supported. We don't want 25 branches to write an application to say, I would like to do story time. We'd like to say, you should do story time, and here's the research and information we have and the resources that we can offer you to support you offering it in the community. So blanket caps allow that, and you'll see some other examples here on the slide. It's things like teen advisory program, art programs, career center, garden programs, sort of the bread and butter. Blanket caps do not come with a funds associated with them. They may come with resources, but they're not going to be foundation funded. However, oftentimes branches use their local branch funds that the foundation provides to them to use to respond to community need to participate in these blanket caps. So a great way to ensure that programming happens at a local branch is to contribute to the foundation and ask them to contribute that funding to your local branch's gift fund. Now, you propose something, you get approval, you get matched with resources, something happens. I can't tell you much about that something because the CAP process takes a big step back, so I don't monitor it that closely. We trust that you have been matched with the appropriate resources. We trust that your idea was great because it got approved. And then I take a big step back and I say, bye, tell me how it goes at the end. So then our other departments, the departments that implement this, step in and they turn the idea into a reality. Along the way, my department does ask that they do things like, tell us about your program attendance. Have you done any surveys? Can you tell me how the survey results were? We do match them with data to improve their offerings over the course of the CAP. But most of the time from the CAP process perspective, what happens is they offer the program and at the end, we ask them to fill in an end of program report, which is a reflective exercise for the staff member to make sure that they have thought about the impact that they had and reported that. It gathers narrative pieces to pass the foundation or the CEO report, quotes from patrons about their experiences, interesting stories that staff observed. And then also, if you received foundation funding, we're going to ask you to complete a financial report to make sure that any money that you received was used appropriately and it is completely documented how that expense was used. So the end of program report, again, can be very light for smaller programs and very long for very large, involved, expensive programs with donor funds. So when we think about the CAP process, it's supporting every size of idea. It's involving many different departments. And to kind of give you an idea of the scale and scope of this, I pulled a couple numbers because I can't come before you without giving you a little bit of data. In 2025, we had 261 community action plans. Those action plans generated 9,381 results for those programs, a collection development piece, training to staff. That was 2025. Now, if you think about 2026, it's quickly approaching, just a couple weeks away. I have already processed 135 caps for programs to be offered in 2026. By the end of 2026, that 135 number will be closer to 261. So the cap process overlaps heavily from year to year. Some ideas get repeated, and that can get a little bit complicated. So the process has to be very responsive to the reality of these ongoing types of projects. And it's not possible without a lot of community support. We get over $2 million in support from the foundation every year. We have, of our program proposals in 2025, 86% of them had identified at least one community partner who they intended to approach to participate. I don't have the outcome data for 2025 because they get about 30 days after the end of the year to finish all that reporting. But I did take a glance this past week, and over 50% of our programs had community partners not just involved in the planning, but the actual implementation of their idea. So it's a very community responsive and driven process. And if you think about those blanket caps, those things that just drive day-to-day programming, we had 28 of them planned for 2026. So that's a large variety of programs that staff can implement very quickly and very easily and be very responsive to local community need. Any questions for me?
All right, any questions?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
Just
please.
one. Yeah, thank you so much, Mackenzie, for the information. The turnaround time for the different program levels, the first two seem extremely reasonable, 30 days, 4 to 6 months. The last one, I don't know if you can go back to that slide.
Sure. The 8 to 18 months?
Yes, that's a, on average, how many of those max out the turnaround time of 18 months? The reason why I'm asking is I wanted to know if there's relevance in the request by the time you get to this particular turnaround time.
Sure. So the proposal is just saying this is the idea and this is how I'm going to fund it. When they get to the implementation stage, they have the ability to adjust and respond to how things might have changed. For example, the 18 months would be if, so the cap season where you're submitting a big idea that we're going to have to make sure it's strategically aligned or possibly have to fundraise for, those are the ones that tend to be longer. They tend to lean more towards the 8 months. They tend to be programs that run an entire year. We ask that you submit your elevator pitch in May. We take that elevator pitch around and say, hey, what sort of resources do we think this is going to need? Foundation might say, hey, we really want to start fundraising for that now. You have until August to develop that full idea, to get all the commitments from the various departments to submit that proposal. And then from August to November, what we do is we match you, we do that final process, that funding and support matching. So then in November, you're told whether or not we were able to support you with all the resources you need to present your program. Most of the time, you're beginning to present in January, February, March. Every once in a while, we'll have someone proposing reindeers at your branches in November and December. And those are the ones that tend to land in the 18-month time period. Or something that runs an entire year, what you proposed the prior year, when you submitted it in August, by the time you're finalizing that program in November, December, it might have changed significantly. That's where that end of program report becomes so important. We really give staff, we really empower them to make the decisions that have the largest impact on the community. They're allowed to make changes as long as they're using the funding and resources in an appropriate way with any funding restrictions we might have. So staff really are able to tell us and describe, okay, this was my proposal and I thought that was going to work, but halfway through I wasn't getting the attendance I wanted and I pivoted in this way. And then we can match that into program report with other staff who want to offer similar programs so they can learn from that experience. And over time, you sort of get this repository of best practices for approaching programming.
Thank you, Mackenzie.
Yeah.
Appreciate the responsiveness to community need. We don't just do programs for the sake of it, and they're based on research. That combination of community need and the research that's done to bring it to fruition is tremendous, so much appreciated. one thing that I had not heard about was the local branch gift fund. And that's given through the foundation and then distributed. Which way is that handled?
Yes, the foundation receives the gifts and then distributes them to branches, so you can earmark funds to be directed for a particular branch. They also sometimes, not every branch is as popular, so sometimes they'll also contribute to make sure that everyone has some equitable access to funding. But it is a way that allows staff to be very responsive to community need. A very popular way to use it, if you think about those teen engagement groups, teens really love and show up for food, and you can't spend taxpayer dollars on that. So that tends to be a popular way that those funds might be directed. It's not only the pizza fund. There's a variety of ways. The staff are empowered to use it however makes sense to respond to their community need. But it does give them the ability to make some local decisions, especially underneath those blanket caps, to have some very impactful programming.
Recently I made a donation to the foundation, and Roberta said, some of this I want it to go to the Lillian Children's Fund. And she said, in the other part, we will put in what you were just describing for those branches that may be in need. So that was very good.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We had no unfinished business, no new business, future agenda items. This time is made available for discussion of items not on the agenda, which are of interest to library board members, and the opportunity is given to suggest items to be included on future library board meeting agendas. Do any board members have something to suggest for January 2026?
Just want to thank Greg for always and your team for responding to all the time. Every time we have a meeting, we usually say, all right, here's an agenda item. This one was right on point and it was very helpful. We had conversations about volunteers and how we use volunteers, the number of volunteers out. But I'm also wondering, like when the Kappas spoke today, I mean, the volunteer, AKA, I'm sorry, the AKA. I better get it right.
Okay.
I better be careful. But that kind of volunteer stuff, hearing more about the kinds of things that volunteers contribute to each of the branches is just awesome. And if we could do some more of that, I think it helps. It sends a message to the larger public, and it makes it seem clearly the library is an educational opportunity. And so how do we play up the fact that the volunteers really make a difference?
Yes, ma'am. I believe the volunteers are on next month's agenda.
It's on
for
the
the board.
agenda.
Yes, ma'am.
Gotcha.
Go ahead, please.
And as I end my report, I'd like to mention that our board president, Mr. Ray Biederman, is consistently generous in highlighting the accomplishments of fellow board members, and that strengthens the profile of the Indianapolis Public Library. In that same spirit, I want to note that Mr. Biederman himself was honored a couple weeks ago by the Indianapolis Bar Association. His colleagues recognized him with the Dr. John Morton Finney Jr. Award for Excellence in Legal Education. Congratulations, Mr. Biederman. Well deserved.
It's crazy. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for that. We'll never do that again.
My report.
Thank you very much. All right. So next board meeting is January 26th, 2026 at the East 38th Street branch located at 5420 East 38th Street at 6:30 p.m. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.